So I lost my job today.
Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please like the video because it helps with my algorithm. So in today's video, we'll be talking about other workers are being laid off from their work without savings and without warning. So these people, they don't even have a backup plan because just imagine you're already in your 40s going to 50s, you're just being laid off like that. And in 2025, the job market is hard. Like, it's very hard for someone to find a job in 2025. So I put the stitches together so that you watch. I'll be back share my.
So I lost my job today. Very unexpectedly, I logged on to work this morning after being off for a week and out of town with my daughter for a dance competition. Totally expecting that meeting to be kind of a catch up session with my boss. And this lady hops on that I don't recognize. Now, we just hired somebody, and I believe today's her first day. And so I naively, for a moment, thought, this must be the new girl because she was going to be part of our team and report to the same manager as me. So I thought, maybe this is a formal introduction or, what have you. And lo and behold, the new person that was on the call was actually HR. My boss was a little late to the call, and when she hopped on, she was visibly disturbed. I could tell she was really uncomfortable, and I immediately said, "What's up?" And she rattled off a few things in probably under 30 seconds and then hopped off the call and let HR take the rest. Now, I've been in leadership in the past. I've been a boss. I know the deal. So I'm not totally surprised by how the call went. What I'm super surprised about is their reasoning for letting me go. So supposedly my performance hasn't been up to par. But interestingly enough, I had an annual review 2 months ago. And despite not getting a very big raise, I did get a very good review. Matter of fact, my boss rated me higher in every single category than I rated myself. That was just 2 months ago. So I'm super confused. I got most of my crying out earlier, but it might happen again on this video. I'm really just here to vent because I'm frustrated and I'm scared. The job market is terrible. I have about $6,000 in monthly expenses, and they only gave me 1 month severance. I have things I can do to fall back. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to really, besides vent, talk about looking at the brighter side. Today's July 15th, 2024, and I stumbled across digital and affiliate marketing a year ago, almost a year to the day. And I didn't do anything with it for several months. And then when I did start doing things with it, I was really struggling with balancing my day job, my teaching job, and then also trying to get a business started. So maybe this is the doorway that will allow me to really focus on my business. I have two businesses, actually. The first niche is the wealth niche, which is sharing my story, sharing my journey, and providing people references and links to the products that I purchased and used to develop my business. The other is my actual business, which is related to dance. And I've been in the idea phase for a lot longer than I initially intended. And that's just, I think a lot of that has to do with fear. It means so much to me. And the thought of failing is really scary. But now the thought of being homeless is really scary. I'm a single parent with 2 kids, and $6,000 a month in expenses is a lot of money, especially when I only have 1 month severance. And, the job market right now is terrible. When I got this job, it took 2.5 months, that process. So I'm trying to give myself today to feel all of my feelings and all of that stuff, but that time crunch is no joke. So I guess this is yet another restart post for me to get back into focusing on my business, because I am going to need not just another source of income, but a source of income. And I think before I took it for granted that, I have a job and I can take my time, and now I don't have that. So yeah, that's that. If anybody else is in this boat, I sympathize with you, and it sucks. And I hope that everything works out for you, whatever that looks like. But I guess I need to hit the pavement and start really focusing on my business. Of course, I'm going to be looking for another job as well in the meantime, because you can never have too many eggs in the basket. But I got to get started. So this is day 1 of being unemployed and trying to forge forward. So if you have any suggestions, anything that may have helped you, whether it's getting a new job in the market, or if it's, if it was a situation like this, I know there's a few people that I follow that this exact thing happened to them and they were successful as a result. And I hope that's me. But if you have any suggestions or advice to give or any kind words, I am totally open to those. Have a great day.
What's up, guys? So earlier in the week, I told you about how I got laid off from my job that I've been at for almost 12 years. And I just got the email with all the unemployment information. It was very, very quick. They gave me a layoff number. It got processed very, very quick. And I'm sitting here looking at the amount of money I'm going to get per week, up to how long and how much, so on and so forth. And we'll get to all that. But I'm sitting here looking at this, guys. This shit's broken. Like, this shit, it's setting you up for failure. Like, you will fail. There's no doubt about it. This is not enough. Like, this is, listen, fortunately for me, money's not an issue in my life. But if you're a person that lives check to check, or you're struggling, or you don't have some money saved up, your ship will sink in a matter of months. Now, obviously, it's all based on the amount of money you were making, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend to you guys that I was making some astronomical amount of money in a produce warehouse, because I was not. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to be completely transparent with you guys. I was making $23 an hour after almost 12 years. Yeah. You might say, oh, but before you judge, let me tell you what this place did for me. I just came off a 12-year heroin addiction. I was a 3-time convicted felon, and they knew all that. And when 25 other people said no, they said, yeah, we'll give you a shot. And they were good to me. And they basically gave me $1 raise every year. And then in 2016, when I had my son and his mom took off, and I'm a single dad with this baby and all this uncontrolled chaos, they worked with me every step of the way. Every step of the way. No inconvenience was too big. And when everybody else in that warehouse was coming in at 7 o'clock, they let me come in at 8 o'clock so I could get Kyler to daycare and school and all that other shit. So when people do shit like that for you, fuck the money, man. I got a hustle hand. You stay loyal to people like that. When people do that much to help you, you stay loyal to that. And not for nothing, the place is 8 minutes down the street from my house. I could leave my house, take Kyler to school, and be at work in like 14 minutes. So it was very, very convenient as well. But anywho, $317 a week, guys. I had them take taxes out. They took out $53 in taxes, and it's $317 a week, up to $8,241. So probably about 6 months worth or something like that. Guys, that's not even $1,300 a month. Who can live off of $1,300 a month? Not a lot of people. And before anybody jumps in the comments, just, oh, go get another job. Listen, it's not that easy. For everybody's situation's different, right? You get laid off, that's not your fault. Maybe you love that job. Maybe you want to go back to that job. They don't give you enough money to have enough time to do anything. And as far as your schedule, like if you have kids, like my situation, like I just said, that place let me come into work later than everybody else. So if I had to go out and get a job right now, Kyler starts school at 10 after 8. The earliest I can drop him off is 7:45. There's no before school program, and I have to pick him up by 5 o'clock. So I would have to find a job that worked around those hours. So it's not that easy for everybody. It could take time. And they don't give you enough money to give you any time. Like the power company don't care that you're laid off. The water company don't care. They're going to shut your shit off. And the amount of money, this shit is broken, man. You're going to fail. You are going to fail quickly. This ain't right, man. This is not right. Thankfully for me, I don't have to worry about it, but a lot of people would, and it's bullshit. This is ridiculous. I'm speechless right now, guys. I'm speechless. You get up, go to work every day, you don't do nothing wrong, you go from being all right to being fucked. That's basically, if you don't have a ton of money saved, you go from being good to fucked. That's what this basically does for you. Unbelievable. I don't know, man. Wow. I don't know, guys. Everybody have a great Friday, the best you can.
I got fired today by one of my clients. I knew it was coming for a while. We had sparred about politics over the years, and she was always moderate, I guess. And I let her get away with too much. I didn't say things back in the day that I should have said something, and I didn't. And over the last 5 years, that's just not how I want to be anymore. I'm too old. And honestly, I feel like more of us, because we're in spaces where we're having intimate conversations with people, we're touching them, we're doing their hair, I feel like it is kind of our responsibility to call them out on this stuff. I think sometimes they think, oh, we're paying you, we don't need to hear that. But if somebody brings something up in my chair, I'm going to have a conversation with you about what I feel like is right. So she didn't like that. We got into some very heated discussions about DEI and immigration. And I feel like right now it's too important to not say something. And the reality is I should have been saying more all these years. But again, old habits die hard. That will never be how I run my business again. And again, over the last 5 or 6 years, I've been very different. But I think we all have a responsibility right now to choose our business wisely and who we take money from. If we're in that position, I am in a position where I can let some people go if they're aligning with things that, again, this is not a differing of opinion. These are people that I'm beginning to realize are morally bankrupt. And we will all be judged on who we take money from. So if you are a hairdresser that you are in a position of being able to not take money from certain people, I think it's on us to start sending a message that we're not going to have that in our chair either. I do think it's too important right now. And it should have always been. That's the reality. That's the thing I'm learning now, is that when you want to craft your business and you want, you're in, again, hairdressers, we're in an intimate place all day long with these people that we have to share energy with, very intimate energy with. And for me as a hairdresser going forward and teaching other baby hairdressers, if you want to facilitate, a business where your energy isn't depleted all the time, and you want to have people that align more with your values, because these are big deals. This isn't oh, how do you take your coffee with, cream or sugar or whatever. These are human rights. These are human rights violations that are happening to people. And these moments are too big, I feel like, for us to stay quiet now. So again, as a hairdresser, I would encourage other people to, it's okay to let some of these people go. So yeah, I got fired today, and I'm okay. I'm okay about it. Anyway, I just wanted
to come on and give encouragement to people that might be going through this right now that do what I do. All right. Y'all have a good night.
Video guys, so I'm just here also to share my true sense, like what I think about today's video. A lot of order workers are being laid off from their jobs. So when we talk about order workers, we talk about people who are in their 40s, people who are in their 50s, 60s. They are being laid off without warning from their jobs. And it's so heartbreaking because even right now at this moment the job market is not very good. So imagine you are in your 50s or 40s, you've been laid off from your job and you start again to send applications. Just imagine that, because you've worked for this company like for 28 years and they just let go of you like that. So people end up being depressed. Others, they end up like asking themselves whether like, am I a very bad person for this company to just let me go like that? And mostly in these layoffs, I've seen these companies just send an email that they want to have a video call with you or a video meeting with you. Later, they are going to tell you that your position has been eliminated, and they're telling someone who is in their 40s, in their 50s, that their position has been eliminated. Like, what next? Because when we just think about the economy at this point, it's it's not good. It's not. A lot of people live paycheck to paycheck, and their salary is like the 70% of their salary is the one which pays their rent. So people have nothing like to save. Even the older workers, they don't have anything to save. They don't have a lot of money in their bank account. Like mostly, mostly they say that you need to have money like for emergency for 6 months, but most of the people, they don't even have this money for emergency. They always think that, what am I going to pay for my next rent? What am I going to pay for me to buy my groceries? Like, just think of this. Okay, and these people, the older workers, these are people who take care of their elder people also. Like if they have mothers who are old, they're the ones who are taking care of these people. They also have grandchildren. Some have their own children. They're paying for their university. They have a lot of responsibilities, and most of them, they're breadwinners from their families. Like literally, this is so crazy, and this is so, it's so heartbreaking. Like it's so sad that we are saying this in 2025, that the job market, even people, the companies, they're just laying off people like that without giving them warning. People don't have backup plans. Like, who can think that, okay, if I work and this company can lay me off and all this? People don't even have this in their mind. Like, okay, I'm going to work. I've worked here 28 years, so it's okay for me. I think I'm done. We are just here like this. I'm not going to go anywhere. Like, people have this mind. But let me tell you, if you're working for a company, you need to think beyond. You should be networking with other people in case anything happens, because I'm seeing like now in 2025 people are coming out open. A company is not, like, they're not your relatives. They're not going to care about how you're going to feel. Okay, it's just they care about their profit more. So mostly you have to think out of the box. Like, start doing your side hustles. If you can network with your friends, kindly network with them, so that even if this job goes today, you are ready to go and find another job. Okay, you have connections already, and you're not going to suffer a lot to start taking like applications, resumes for you to find another jobs. Because I've seen a lot of people, like, now it's really hard for an older worker if you are laid off from your work, because you don't, like, most of the companies, they don't want someone who's very qualified, because they don't want to pay a lot of money. Most of these positions, they want people who have no no experience at all, so that they get breadcrumbs. Okay, because they're going to accept any amount they're going to give them. They're desperate, they want the jobs. Okay, so they're not even going to take you. They'll tell you, oh, you're overqualified. So now people are getting rejected because of being overqualified by companies. This is so heartbreaking, and I don't know. I don't know where we are heading this 2025. We are just in July. Okay, we are just in this July, and already things are not looking good. Things are not looking good. What more when you're reaching December? How are these things going to be now? Are people going to even have food to eat because they don't have jobs? People have stayed 3 years. We've seen people coming out 2 years without jobs. And if you're letting go of these people, there are a lot of people who come now. We have a large number of unemployed people. Okay, so have a lot of people in the street because people won't have money to pay for their mortgage. They won't have money to pay for their rent, and they'll end up in the street and start staying there. So I think government need to look for alternatives, and I feel like most of the employers are the one who having more rights. Like they are protected. Employees, they are not even protected in these companies because they can let go and move on like nothing happened. You have to be silent like a person. You just have to be silent. You don't have to say anything that this company did this, all these things. So yeah, so that's a video, guys. I just want to say thank you so much for watching my videos, guys. Please subscribe. Okay, I'm on my way to 8K. Subscribe so that I reach 8K. All I can say is a bye for now.